Hey guys, all right, let's get this over with. I got things to do, you got things to do. I don't want to waste your time, and I certainly don't want you to waste my time, because as you know, my time is fly time. Okay. All right. Guy time? Hi, welcome to the show. My name is Hello Listener. You call me Sir for short. I have not sold my soul. I'm a real person. The date is 4/10/2025, and I made a clip this morning about being a Borg, and yes, it was funny. But many people might not see how funny it is, you know, because humor takes all sorts of forms. And I don't even want to be streaming, but I do. What I really want is to take some nicotine, but I'm going to resist it. And I kind of just want to stream to say that I got a bunch of stuff coming up and kind of clean up for the week. Want to do a clean up, and that's 2 brooms. In my head, I'm using 2 brooms. I'm working on a workout video that I'm going to be selling you guys. What else is going on? What else is going on? I got a bunch of videos coming up, but not till after Pascha. Once Pascha, I already got like a bunch of videos, and I need some sunlight. If I don't get sunlight, then I can't do anything. There's no sun. No sun means no fun, you know? So after Pascha, I got a bunch of big shows lined up. I've already got lined up with Ethiopian Orthodox deacon. We're gonna heal the schism. It's nothing. I think he's black or Ethiopian. Sometimes I don't like to be called black. Everybody's so sensitive. Like, if you call me German, I wouldn't be like, I'm Sicilian. If you call me Russian, no, yes I would. Whatever. If you call me white, I wouldn't be like, I'm not white. It's fine. Don't get mad at people before you even talk to them. It's hard, you know? It's hard. It's hard. Gosh, how many of my arguments with people are just in my own head and they're just walking through their day like, never thought a bad thing about me. In my head, we're like enemies. Anyway, so I got that lined up. I got some special guests that we're going to start doing some shows with here and there. This is the main thing, is me rambling incoherently while drinking an energy drink that makes me feel crazy. That's the main thing. We're always going to stick to our roots. You know, these are our roots over here at Hello Listener. But I got some cool stuff. I got some special guests. Me and Light of Tabor are going to be doing some more stuff together as like a, I don't know, he kind of balances me out. I'm a lot more aggressive when it comes to stuff. I noticed when in our talk on Tuesday, what day? A couple of days ago? I don't remember. I just noticed that he is very charitable and graceful, whereas I am very... Oh, I forgot to brush my teeth again. I just forgot. I woke up and just did some other stuff, you know? My priorities were elsewhere. Here, I'll scrape the plaque off while you guys hang out. That's chill, right? Is that disgusting? Those are the main teeth. All right. I just noticed that he's good with people, whereas I'm a lot. And also, like a lot of times, like I don't have anything to say, but I feel like I have to talk. Otherwise, we'll just sit there in silence. Which might be funny. Maybe I should start doing... Oh my gosh, I should start doing that. I'm going to start interviewing people, and when I have nothing to say, I'm just going to sit there. And don't force it. Just kind of have a silence with them. That's a great idea. Like, like it's a conversation you're having in real life with somebody, except you've made a show out of it. You're like, so, weather's crazy, huh? Yeah, I know. I thought it was going to let up, but here we are again. Right. Yeah. You see the Bills? You know, something like that. Buffalo Bills. I don't know. What's going on with football? Buffalo Bills? It's a good idea. You know what? That's actually such a good idea. I'm going to write it down. Interviews where you allow for awkward pauses. Did that. Look forward to that. But no, my Light of Tabor, Paisios, he jumps in there, man, and he always says, you know, and so I was thinking, you know, maybe I should do some more stuff with this guy, like maybe do some video responses to stuff, you know, like sometimes that people will come together and respond to a video. Like someone will make a video and be like, Orthodoxy, stupid Cupid, and we're about to shoot it down, clown. And you say, excuse you? And then you play their entire video on your channel, and then you and a friend pick it apart. And be like, this is why this guy's a stinky dumb bum. That could be chill, right? That could be chill to do. So I was thinking that. Also, I have some other guests that I'm going to bring on. Some people that I happen to be fond of, and I would like to introduce them to the world. Some people that I like, and I want to introduce them to the world. Also, I have some big shows coming up as far as, well, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm actually so excited for what's coming up. Today's show is just me gushing about how excited I am. I have, on top of these shows that I just told you about, I have about 4 shows already set up that are going to be very interesting. And in one of them, I'm inventing a new music genre. And it's not a joke. This isn't me being stupid. I have this vision, and I'm going to attempt to fulfill it on the show. I'm going to, on the show, be like, let's attempt to fulfill this vision. Okay. So I guess that's it. There's a lot to be looking forward to over here at Hello Listener. We're doing a lot of great stuff. Art, music, science, religion, entertainment, phlegm-tertainment. I know a lot of people don't like that, but there is a niche market for phlegm-tertainment. I'm going to say a gross thing since I just said a gross thing. And that is, I don't have to wipe after I poop anymore because I've eaten so many microplastics that now my poops come out sealed. See? Pros and cons to microplastics. They tell you how bad microplastics are, but they don't tell you that your poopies come out hermetically sealed. And now you don't have to wipe. That's kind of nice. Hello? Dream come true, people. I'm clean. Aside from my teeth. But with these two are, because I scratched them on... I scratched off the plaque. Can you believe I'm married? Can you believe I'm married and have a home? I am the mother's basement archetype. I don't know. Something about this mug, you know what I'm saying? You can't, like I was ever gonna fail. Give me a freaking break. With this face? Are you kidding me? You put me anywhere and I'll make it. Let's say he's too handsome. We can't kill him. He's too handsome. All right, so let's think about last week. Let's think about this past week. Let's think about the fast week. Let's cast some light on the week. Let's ask the right about the week. Let's fast and fight through the week. I'm tasked to fight with the weak. You won't last, but you might if you seek. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a blast from the past because I'm meek. Okay. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. Like, I was just thinking about, like, our conversation on whatever day we did that. And I was like, I got a lot of thoughts, and I watched, and I was very keen for it not to be me and Paisios. By the way, I'm going to be calling Crew of Good Juju from now on. I'm going to be calling him Pasquale. He changed his name, his title name. And when I asked him why, he said because of me. And he said because I keep calling him Crew of Good Juju. But I call him Crew of Good Juju because I'm trying to call him it's like brand recognition. But I think Pasquale is cool, man. I think my grandfather was named Pasquale or something. Now, who knows their own family members? You know what I'm saying? It's the 21st century America. I have no idea. My dad's name? I don't know. Critchard? All right. So I'm going to be referring to Crew of Good Juju as Pasquale from now on. And I hope Mark Ratelli, Light of Tabor, doesn't mind this, but I kind of want to just refer to him as Paisios. Whoops. That was Illuminati. Just lost half my fan base. 150 people dead. Yeah, I knew he was Illuminati. I knew this guy was a slab. I love people who are so brittle-minded that they're just like, he's Illuminati! You know, what did he do? He went like this. Ah! I knew he was a trick. Take it easy. It just doesn't make sense. You have to, I don't know. It kind of goes back to the Jordan Peterson thing, actually. Which I wanted to talk about. Oh, Mark's going to do a premiere on his channel at 11:15 of The Talk. Okay, so let me do a quick wrap-up. Wait, what time is 11:15 Pacific Stinky Time? That's what I call it. Because you're my enemy. Everyone that isn't me is an enemy. So if you're in Pacific instead of Alaska, then I call Pacific Stinky Time because you're stinky compared to Alaska. What am I doing over here? Hold on. All right, I told him I'm streaming right now and to let me know when the premiere starts and I'll jump over. So I got to get this out quick. This is going to be a short show, I think. I don't really understand how time works over in Pacific Stinky Time, but over here in Alaska, things move like glaciers. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I might have to put this on airplane mode. Everyone is talking a lot, and that's... What are we doing? I forgot what we were doing. yeah, so Pasquale changed his name. He said it was because of me, and that was the thing. I felt like we weren't trying to gang up on a dude. We wasn't trying to gang up on a dude. He's my friend, and I love him so good. I love Pasquale. I do. Literally love the dude. Genuinely care about him. Want good things for him. And I know I'm kind of hardline with orthodoxy, and people may think I'm a jerk, but I am, I have a, this is just, it's who I am. It's just how I am. I don't really bend a lot when it comes to what I know to be true. I don't really bend. And that's just how I am. That's how I've always been. And people may think it's me being unkind. I just prioritize truth over kindness. That's not to say that I want to say things cruelly, and I don't think I am mean. But I don't know. It just felt like, man, the conversation, when I pointed out, I was like, Pasquale's Orthodox, Paisios is Orthodox, Pasquale is not. He seemed to take offense to that. He's like, you just divided us. And it was like, no, this is for my audience. I just want I should have put like something beforehand when I introduced you. I want my audience to understand, just in case my audience was confused by some of the things that Pasquale says. To be honest, I'm happy with the new name. It rolls off the tongue. It's nice. But it seemed to cause some friction. And also, I know my face is very expressive. I know, like, I say a lot with my face. I'll be like, people talking, I'll go like, hey, and I'll be like, ooh, and I'll be like, ugh. And people are like, what does he mean by that? You know, if you have to ask, you'll never know. No, actually, just ask. Because it's probably not what you think. Because people think that my face is like insulting them. And I know Pasquale was tuned into my face because early on, when he said something about the church, us being one, Mark said, right on, brother. And then he said, Tony looks like he doesn't agree. So I knew he was perceptive. So, but a lot of times I'm crazy. A lot of times I'm just hanging out. But I felt like maybe there was some feelings hurt, which I did not intend. That's why it's called interaction practice, baby, because we never get good at it. You know what I mean? It's just practice. I'm not an expert at interactions. I'm really good at ranting alone in a room in front of a camera and pretending I'm famous and that people care what I have to say. That's something I could do consistently. But one of the topics we were touching upon was Michael Jordan Peterson Bailey. I have to couch his name between Michael Bailey. So just in case the censors are watching. Or should I say Juden Peterstein? There's like a lot of hatred towards the guy, but also I just see a profoundly broken man. And I recorded something about this. Maybe I could just play it through my microphone. Sometimes that's not so fun. Sometimes that's a little fun. Sometimes that's not so fun. Where's my wire? Hold on. I got a wire. Maybe I could just put it on here and we'll watch it together. I think I'll do that. Cause that'll kickstart me. But yeah, I felt like Pasquale left when his facial expression when he left, I was looking at him, I was like, he seems upset. And what did I do? I know I talk about the church a lot, but anybody who talks to me knows that. That's just what comes with the territory. I'll never stop talking about the church. It's never going to happen. It's never going to freaking happen. So if so if we're talking about Christian stuff and somebody comes to me with anything other than orthodoxy, then I can't help but we could change the subject. We could talk about other things. But if we're going to talk about this thing, I'm going to bring it to orthodoxy every time. And I was trying to keep it away from orthodoxy. I wanted to have more, conversations about stuff we agreed on. I wanted to talk about Jordan Peterson and red pill moments and stuff like that. But by the time we got to some of that stuff, it was already, we'd already been talking about orthodoxy so much, and I felt the feelings in the sky. There was feelings in the sky, and I could not shoot them down. They blocked out the sun like clouds, and they turned us all to clowns. Guys, can somebody call Anthony Fantano? I'm sick of this. What am I doing? Oh, I was going to play a video. Okay, give me 1 second. Anthony Fantano. I made a couple weird videos today or yesterday that probably I shouldn't share. I think it is safe to say I shouldn't share some of them. I think it's this one. It's such a good vibration. Do you guys know about that? It's such a sweet sensation. You guys know about that? It's such a good vibration. What the heck is going on? Don't be mad. Just give me a second. I'm trying to help you. You're getting mad at me, but I'm trying to help you. It's such a sweet sensation. What is happening? Bum 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 bum. You guys know, right? Bum 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 bum. Oh, bum bum bum. Oh, bum bum. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Feel it. You know, like that sort of thing. I don't know, it was like 1993. Mortal Kombat 2 had just come out. And this is what we were listening to. It's like Ace of Base. There was always some chick being like, take me to the moon and fly me into space. We're about to transcend the human race. Oh. And then some guy will come on and he'd be like, shocker, me and my walker. I'm an old man, I'm a senile talker. And then I think their boyfriend and girlfriend. Very Euro dance. I don't know. Strange. That was big. You would roller skate to it. I don't know. Life is different now. Now you guys just listen to gangster rap and kill each other in the streets. We didn't do that so much. Oh, weird. Now I got some new problems. It's like a vision of love that seems to be true. You guys feel me? Another night, another dream, but always you, 'cause you talk to me like lovers do. And I'd be like, bam, bam, bam. Wait, now, oh my gosh. Guys, I'm trying. This isn't supposed to be a show, and I'm singing songs to make you happy, but everything's falling apart right before my eyes. Maybe if I do like this. Bum 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 bum. I should have done this before I started the show, but you know, I gotta go when the feeling's right. When the feeling is right, we love for good, and we meet each other in the hood. And if you love me like you say you always have, then it's time for us to take a bath. Ba, ba, ba. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing. It happened a lot. All right. This might work. Or they'd be like, I talk to you in the night, in my dreams, like vampires do. Yo, I can't wait for Halloween, yo. I love doing my Halloween episode. So spooky, so overwhelmingly spooky and scary for the people. This isn't working. Constantinople. Hold on, let me see. Somebody's messaging me. People are in the chat. All right, I'll check chat while I'm waiting for this stuff to work. I'm checking chat. What's up, chat? Chat! And so the conversations... All right. I have a whole thing about this. Somebody's messaging me. 3 a.m. Eternal? Is that, oh, if I could only get some sleep. Creepy noises make my head creep. I can't get no sleep. Is that the... Are you talking about that? Dang, it's already... The chat's moving a lot. Oh my gosh. This ain't... I'm trying to import this video file so I can talk about Jordan Peterson. I'm trying to talk about Jordan. It's not working. I don't know what happened. But what I'll do instead is I'll play the video here and I'll look at chat over there. And in real time, it'll be like I'm doing a bunch of stuff. And maybe the audio won't be as perfect as it could be if I played it on my computer. But, you know, you do what you can out here. I don't know. I don't know why things aren't working. I didn't know things wouldn't work. Oh, yeah, just full screen myself completely. All right, here we go. Here's what I have. Ready? This is my thing about Jordan Peterson because I didn't really get to it. I want to talk about Jordan Peterson for a minute, and I'm going to hopefully expand on this on the show, but I just want to seed a couple of ideas, maybe for myself. Because I wanted to I tried to talk about Jordan Peterson a little bit with Julian and Mark on my show that I did recently with them. And the reason I wanted to was not, I wasn't really trying to condemn him or anything like that, or even really like make fun of him or anything. I have a lot of sympathy for Jordan Peterson. He's not someone that has had a huge effect on me, though I did mention that, you know, he helped give me a language to deal with a lot of the things that were happening. Is that audio okay? That audio okay? Real quick. Around me, and I appreciate him for that. All right, fine. I'll just try and do it myself. I'll just try and freestyle it. So here's what I was thinking about Jordan Peterson. I'm not going to look at chat for a second. I don't want to say it all over again. I just wanted to play the video. This sucks. Maybe I'll take some nicotine. Maybe this will help me. Hold on. This will help me. KLF. I don't know what this is. And I want to play it, but I don't want to get my stream. I can probably play it for like a few seconds, right? Ready? Dang. I don't know what this is. And that's strange. If I play it, I'm going to go to jail. Slow boy, don't use your power of persuasion on me. You know I'll do whatever you say. Just don't say it. Please. All right. Let me talk about Jordan Peterson. This show is going off the rails. This show has no order to it. I got... All right, fine. How could you not know KLF? I'll have you know that I know a lot of letter combinations. Just this one happens to elude me. All right, I'm going to play this in the background. I don't care what happens. And while this is playing, I'm going to talk about Jordan Peterson, okay? I'm going to do it without thinking. Here we go. The thing about Jordan Peterson is he is coming... Shut up. Now somebody's calling me. No, I want to talk about Jordan Peterson. So here's the thing. I'm going back to my main screen. I looked at chat and you guys immediately derailed me. All right. Here's the thing about Jordan Peterson. Because I know a lot of people are making fun of him and a lot of people are dissing him. And I wanted to talk about him on the show because I have a timeline for this guy and I watched a lot of things happen. And I feel like they MK Ultra'd the crap out of him in Siberia or something. Somebody, I think it was on Slowboy Whiteboard's community tab, which I actually did watch, where they talked about how the video where they're talking about the side effects of the drug that they gave him was actually hypnosis, which is crazy. But here's the thing, and this is what I was talking about in the video. I'm going to take my headphones off. Here's the thing, and I was talking about this in the video that I tried to play, but it didn't work. What he was doing was difficult for a boomer. You understand? Was difficult for a liberal, progressive, highly educated boomer. This man has a sense of truth. Somehow, he's made it through the zeitgeist of modern opinion and still clings to the truth. I'm assuming that's mostly because of Solzhenitsyn, Carl Jung, and Carl Jung, you know, wacky dude, but you know what I'm saying, and Dostoevsky. But he has this sense of reality. He has this sense of truth, even though he's just been through the ringer of institutional BS. He really has this sense of truth, and but because he's a liberal boomer who was raised in this, he really has a hard time separating himself from these values that make him want to connect with everyone, make him want to, you know, find common ground, make him want to not be racist, sexist, homophobic, or anything, because he was raised in this ethos. At the same time, his sense of injustice caused him to be unable to not speak out. And like Pasquale said, it lended credibility because he was like the first like college guy, you know, a deeply educated man saying this instead of like crazy racists on the internet. And that did lend credibility because we all believed in the world back then. Maybe you guys didn't. I did a little. I maybe believed in evolution. I'm ashamed to say that at one point I believed in evolution. A little. No, I just chose not to think about it. But most people would not listen to you unless you had institutional backing. Remember when we would try and talk to these people and they would be like, source please, source fed, source code. Remember? And unless it was like on Spleen magazine on the cover of Gay Hair Monthly, they wouldn't they'd be like, no, disregard. And it was a stupid game that we all played with the leftists for a while. We were all just like, no, this is true. And they'd be like, prove it. And then you'd prove it. And they'd be like, I disregard your sources. This is not true. I have a study of 3 gays that proves that dogs can, that it's okay to have bestiality, I think is where I was going with that. So Jordan was steeped in that. And that's what caused the cognitive this is my theory, okay? This is all just my theory, but that's what caused the cognitive dissonance, which led to him taking anti-anxiety drugs. Because if you don't know, and I would recommend you watch this Jordan Peterson, watch Jordan Peterson before Siberia. And I'm calling it Siberia, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek. But before Siberia and after. Look at him before, he was like this guy, and he was like our dad. He's everybody's dad. Not mine, but maybe some of you guys saw him as dad. I didn't buy his book, and I didn't clean up my room, and it's dirty to this day. But he was a figure that was necessary at the time. And while he couldn't help himself but speak out against obvious lies, he was still steeped in the ethos of the Hall of Costs and a billion and the Enlightenment nonsense and Jungian nonsense. And so there was a cognitive dissonance in him. There was a need to placate minorities and gays and Khazarians, and while at the same time, there's some part of him that recognized the need to speak out. But he's not Christian, though he talks about Christ all the time. He talks about the Bible all the time. He's not himself a Christian. And that's another thing. This intellectual baggage caused him to be unable to accept Christ because he's steeped in all sorts of nonsense that tells you that you're stupid if you're a Christian. So I see an endless struggle in the man, to be honest. I see him struggling to speak truth while not being in the truth. I see him struggling to argue against the lies of the left while still having liberal principles. And I think being skyrocketed into the public eye while having to do that and maintain himself, maintain this, he was trying to walk an impossible path. I think that's the lesson. He was trying to walk an impossible path. And that path is saying the truth while still ingratiating yourself to the status quo. That's an impossible path. If you say the truth, you are necessarily damned by the world. You have to accept that. So I think that's where the anti-anxiety pills came into play. Was he was dealing with a lot of cognitive dissonance internally. He was dealing with a lot of pain internally, where he's trying to walk this impossible line without Christ. And that sent him into the dark realm under some hyper Xanax that made him, and its side effect is hypnosis. So watch before that and then watch after. His first interview after that. Because I remember for like, it seemed like 2 years to me. Jordan Peterson was just gone. I was like, what happened to this guy? And then when he came back, he was this withered, broken man. He's not the same person. They did something to this guy, you know? And people make fun of him for crying all the time, and I don't. I feel so bad for him. And yeah, he lashed out at people. He called Nick Fuentes a rat for not, I don't know, for blood libel or whatever, you know what I mean? But he's lashing out and struggling against a million contradictory ideas in his own head. And so I think the modern Jordan Peterson needs to be treated with delicacy, because he's not who he used to be. And what he did was hard for him. I just pray he comes to orthodoxy. He needs orthodoxy. He needs Christ. He desperately needs Christ. And it seems like he might go in that direction. I know he did a Piers Morgan interview recently. I don't remember what happened. I watched some Jim Bob, and Jim Bob was cracking me up. His Jordan Peterson impression is hysterical. Jim Bob's funny. I was laughing. I was working and I took a break and just watched Jim Bob for a while in my car, and I was just in the parking lot cracking up. That guy's funny. I like him. What else do I have to say about that? I guess that's it. All right, I'll go back to chat. Sorry about the sniffles. I guess I'm like sick forever. Not an honorable position. Defending the locked door with his life. But that's what I'm saying. He can't see his way out of the liberal worldview. What I'm trying to say is he did good. He did good for a boomer intellectual steeped in academia and liberalistic nonsense. What he did was good. We can disregard post-Siberian Peterson. And I hate to say that, but that's pretty much what has to happen. You just got to disregard him. But before that, what he did was a good thing, and he helped out a lot. And yes, it is the Amish, and we need to talk about that. And if we don't talk about that, then we're missing the point of pretty much everything. And I think I've illustrated that very well in my show. If I've done anything, I've illustrated that very well. I hope this isn't making noise. But that was kind of my point with Jordan Peterson. That's where I'm coming from. Is he a PSYOP? Does he have a bunch of handlers? I don't know. What's a PSYOP? It's a very vague term. He has handlers. People are watching him. I think he's afraid. I think his tears are genuine, and I don't think he even knows why he's crying anymore. I just feel bad for the guy. To be honest, I just feel bad for the guy. And I think about, like, one thing we were talking about with Pasquale and Paisios is, you know, millennials, we've just been battered around by everything our entire life. We've had our worldview shattered and over again, you know. We've been through the ringer. And many of us came out crazy. Many of us came out the other side as if it's over. As if they're done. As if they're done hurting us. But many of us came out the other side loopy in the loopy pants, you know? And I have sympathy for our generation too. And as far as boomers go, and I'm not using that in a derogatory term, you know, we all like to blame everybody else. But as far as boomers go, I think he did well considering where he came from and what he was steeped in. And I know you guys, I think we need to pray for Jordan Peterson. I know we love to just hate everybody, but it's just not, it's not a good idea. We're called to love. We're called to love. That's what we're called to do. And while it's easy for us to pick apart everybody and say, oh, they did this wrong and they did this wrong, what about what they did right, you know? What about opening the floodgates to make these sorts of ideas palatable to people who were steeped in academia and liberalism? That matters. That matters. Our generation, we're angry. I'm angry. You know, I have all sorts of reasons to be angry. I had all sorts of false ideas that were sold to me that now when I look back at them, I'm angry that I bought into them. And so sometimes we come off very aggressive. I come off as very aggressive towards Protestants because once I became Orthodox, I realized that I'd been lied to, I'd been deceived, and I'd been kept from the church with all of these, with 500 years of lies, you know, and that stuff really upsets me. I have a priest who said the same thing. There's a priest that I'm friends with who, once he became Orthodox, he had to spend some time dealing with anger. And it was like a problem for him because he was so angry about what he'd been taught before coming to Orthodoxy. He was so angry about all the lies that he'd been taught. And I think we all can relate to that in different ways. The lies of liberalism, you know, the lies of the Amish elite, the lies of Protestantism. And so when we finally come out of it, there's a there's an aggressiveness, and I think you guys can see that in my show that I tend to be very aggressive. But it is Lent, and there's a lot of grace in Lent, and it makes me just want to think about these things in a charitable manner, you know. So yeah, that's my thing about that. I lost a subscriber. What the hell? I'm so tired of this. You guys think you can't affect me, but you can. I'm just a person. I have to drink this with both hands now. This has been sitting on my desk for 2 days. Dander. All right. I don't know what else. When's Mark doing his thing? And the chat stopped. Chat stopped and I lost a subscriber. Fine. Bye. Hold on a second. Somebody's messaging me. I think about the stream. Give me a second. All right. Let's see what you guys did say. Back when you liked me. I'm like a manlier Jim Bob. Yeah, but he's a smarter hello listener. This dude Cheeks is hitting the lottery for grandma. I like the structure of that sentence, though I don't know what it means. Hell of a week on your channel. He doesn't want to talk to us. I don't like monologues. Peace. Pasquale? He changed his name. His monologues rival Provo's. Who's Provo? Provo. Pure gold. Thank you, Slow Boy. Thank you, Slow Boy. I didn't read his bar there. You think you can trick me into staying with that disclaimer? Maybe. You don't like monologues? Well, then you're not going to like the show. I talk. What does this say? I will read chat at the end. Be sure to say nice things. It's hard. You guys throw me off my game sometimes. And then I do chat. Then I hang out with chat. Apparently that's what I do now. I guess we're discovering what this channel is together. St. Paisios talks about a necessary uncomfortability that comes into play when we talk with people outside the church. Yeah, I've been talking to my friend about that. That's like you kind of have to hardline a little bit, but it's not out of hate. It's not out of, a malice. It's just out of, look, this is where the truth is. I can't play along if you're not with it, if you're not with this. And it doesn't, in no way do you want to hurt people, but it's like a holy anxiety. It's a holy anxiety that you feel outside of orthodoxy that should lead you to orthodoxy ultimately. I was paying attention to his face. I could tell he was mad. He wasn't getting to talk equal time. He was just waiting for someone to be quiet so he could start talking, not really listening. Well, I could tell he was upset at certain points. Or that's how I felt. I felt like he seemed to get upset, and I don't know. I didn't mean to make him sad. Drinking C4 make it feel like pop rocks are in my skin. Yeah, that's why I like it. That's why I drink it. Typical for that's the alanine. It makes your skin prickle. Definitely didn't hear him say the part about us all being united in Christ when I gave that response, or else I thought you were just, I might be remembering it wrong. I just remember there was something that I'm very careful about affirming things. I'm very careful about that. You can tell the truth to some people without them getting upset. It's pointless to try making them happy. Yeah, I agree. Marky Mark and the Funky. Is that what I was doing? Was I doing Marky? Was I doing Marky Mark? Oh my gosh. All right. De La Soul Saturday. There's a De La Soul song that I liked. Oh, remember when I was talking about like going back into pivotal rap albums? I did listen to De La Soul's album. Bro. Black people, yo. Bro. Have you guys seen these Blacks? What the heck is going on? I thought it was cool. They had like a couple cool songs, and then halfway through the album, they were like, "This is us having sex." And then it was just 3 minutes of grunting and groaning and them having sex. And it was like, this really is what they're like. This really is what they're like. What am I supposed to say? What was the social pressure for them? Maybe it was Amish, but I mean, come on. Nobody started the stabbing dance or whatever it's called, where they basically have simulated sex and in a very violent way in Jamaica. Simulated violent Jamaican sex. Call it a dance, I call it a hex. Hello? All right, sorry. Makes me want to do cardio. Gypsy Woman by Crystal Waters, CNC Music Factory. We Need You rendition at 3 a.m. All right. It wasn't me that left. Provo Kid, Provo Planet, Provo Fresh. I don't know who this is. Is he Orthodox? I do look at your community. Slow boy, I can't. Slow boy, do you know how hard it is to find you? I've subscribed to every single one of your channels. I still have to just check back manually to see what's going on. I can't believe someone unsubscribed. If I find out who unsubscribed, I'm going to go to their house and beat them to death in front of their family. Not that I'm bothered, but I will do that. There's consequences. This isn't a game over here, hello listener. There's consequences. Effing with me, consequences. You ever have consequential? I hear my wife laughing in the background, so I think I'm doing a good job. Like and subscribe if I'm doing a great job right now. Everybody hit that like button if I'm doing a great job. Likes don't move at all. Ah! All right, what other... Okay, there was other topics I was going to bring up with Pasquale and Paisios. And so I'm going to check them out real quick now. Oh, money. Money. I don't know. Mark, are you going to do your stream soon? I got to get out of here. I'm running out of things to talk about. Shadow ban since been shadow banning. Yeah, I think it's a new era on YouTube. People like me are starting to... It's Orthodox Red Pill Ascendant, it seems. I'll ride it. I'll ride the wave. Until I'm told to stop by someone who I believe. If God tells me to stop, I'll delete this channel. You'll never see me again. It really will happen. But right now I've been encouraged by priests. I've had a lot of things that have told me to continue going. But, I don't know. All right. What are we doing? I'm all shaky. So I'll show you my list. My list was, yeah, I'm probably shadowed too. But I've said this on my show. If God wants what I am saying to be heard, it'll be heard. You know what I mean? No shadow banning can stop God's will. There'll be a glitch in the matrix and I'll reach millions. So I don't care, man. Worldly powers, F that. F worldly powers. I don't care. So here's my list, and I don't think I have anything to say about any of it. What happened to Jordan Peterson? Islam, Poodyism, red pill, money, and jobs. I want to talk about jobs because, like, everybody, has jobs. And I want to talk about money because in a earlier stream, somebody was like, money is the devil. And a lot of people like Jay and Sam and other people have been like really pushing Bitcoin. I found out I have some Bitcoin. Just have some. Found out I have some. Not a lot. I don't know what $500 worth of Bitcoin is, but that's what I have. And so I added my Bitcoin wallet here. And I'm assuming at some point some somebody from England is going to give me Bitcoins. I have a lot of people in England that watch my show. I'm not sure why. I think it's rough over there. I feel like watching my show is like a scary idea over there. You know, Israel owns all the VPNs, so even if you're watching me through VPN, they're coming for you. I don't know. I guess that's it. Do I have anything else? There's a lot of stuff coming up. There's a lot of stuff coming up. There's I was thinking at 333 subscribers, I was going to attempt this new style of music, but I might not want to wait. I don't know how long it'll take for me to get 333 subscribers. I can't believe I lost a subscriber. I'm so mad at, I'm assuming it was Toilet Bowl Earth. I'm assuming Toilet Bowl Earth left. I'm going to blame Toilet Bowl Earth. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to wrap up the week. Is there anything else that I'm missing from the week? Oh, really? Yeah, I checked in his live chat and I asked him why he changed his name, and he said, "'Cause of you." And I do remember there was a point where he was describing what the Crew of Good Juju stands for, and I said, "I see," instead of being like cool or something like that. But I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm not. I never disliked that name. Oh, is that where the chat went, or is that where he went? Look how far behind this is. I'm going to try and skip it ahead. The Shroud of Turin. Oh, gosh. Well, yeah, there's just a lack of trust, man. Everything is treated with an unbearable scrutiny. Outside of orthodoxy. Blame him. We all do. I don't know. Look, I love Pasquale. I love him. You guys wouldn't be here if it weren't for Pasquale. At my channel. You guys wouldn't even be watching. What in the MDE is this? LOL found you. See? There you go. People have found me because of him. The guy he's a good dude, and I do think he's sincere, and I just hope he comes to orthodoxy. But he's on the I think he's on the beginning of a journey. I hope he has that Bishop Tiger. I think maybe people misread my laughter sometimes. People think I'm laughing at them when I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing. I like to laugh. Like when he was talking about Bishop Tiger, I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I wasn't laughing at him saying he's not a bishop. I was just saying, that's so funny. Bishop Tiger? Who is this guy? I want to know about this guy. And just the idea of it tickled me. I was a bit tickled by the entire prospect of an Orthodox bishop saying, "Call me Tiger." Oh, wait, I want to tell you guys something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this before I forget about it. Let me switch to the other view for 1 second. Sorry if you hate monologues. I'll be back. Ready? All right, I'll keep the chat open. No, because you'll interrupt my thoughts. You'll say something that'll throw me off. I'll be right back. Let me monologue for a second. Jeez. Okay, so I was working yesterday, and I picked up a guy. And I knew I didn't want to pick him up the second I saw him. I've met one other person who looked like this guy. This very rugged, angular face. Eastern European. Tall, thin, but like skinny strong. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see somebody like farm muscles? I saw him and I was like, I don't want to pick up this guy. But it was too late. And he's looking me in my eyes. And I looked away because I was scared of him. I was already scared of the guy. So he gets into my car. And he goes, "Somebody left this." I was like, oh, he has an accent. Okay, maybe we can talk about orthodoxy or something. I'm always scheming. So here's what happened. This is unreal, yo. I want to try and remember everything this guy said to me because this was the most insane conversation. First thing he does, he tells me which way to go to get where I'm going. He's like, yes, you can go this way, and if you go this... But he had like a Russian accent, but it was also a Mexican accent. In my mind. In my mind, I was hearing both, and I don't know how to make that. So whatever accent comes out of me, it's just an approximation. So he tells me which way to go, and then he tells me the exact, he tells me the math of the lights that I'm about to hit, and how there'll be 55 to 75 seconds between each light. If you start hitting it now, then you'll be able to go. They will all turn green if you go 45 to 47 miles per hour. I was like, what are you doing? I was already like, what is this? And I said, oh, wow, you did the math? He goes, yes, I'm very smart. I'm very smart. I'm going to college. And he started rattling off some college courses. I don't know. And they said, and also business. I've run my own business since I was very young. I was like, oh, that's great. Then he started telling me I'm very strong. I'm a very, he goes, right now I work at a tire shop. And I lift tires. I lift over 2,000 pounds a day or something like that. Cool. You know me, I'm friendly. Cool. I make $20,000 every 4 weeks. I was like, wow, at a tire shop? Yes. And I lift a lot of weight. I lift a lot of weight. I lift over I used to go to the gym because I'm very strong. I can bench 400 pounds. And I was like, 400? That's a lot. Yes, but you know, I'm very strong. I used to be a soldier. Oh, okay. This is a short ride, by the way. So we're not... Okay, so he tells me that he's a soldier, or that he was a soldier. Before that, I think he gives me his phone number and tells me that he's a mobile mechanic as well. I might be getting the order wrong. But then he says about how he's a soldier and how he was in Fallujah and Operation Iraqi Freedom and Afghanistan. And then he said that he was the guy that got shot in the head in American Sniper. He goes, yeah, I'm the guy who gets shot in the head in American Sniper. And I was like, oh, is that true? And he's like, yeah, I still have the scar. And then he turned his head and I did not see a scar. But I was scared of the guy. I'm not going to be like, you're lying. Anyway, he keeps going. What else did he tell me? They tell me he was a sergeant and he's a sergeant and a war hero. And that everybody knew about him, and they told me his name. I don't think I should say his name, but I will say this. Afterwards, I Googled American Sniper, and it was none of the names of the people in that movie. It was none of the names of the people in that movie. Okay. And then he told me that he's like, I fight a lot. I like to fight. And, but now I play video games mostly. I play, Tom Clancy. Just Tom Clancy. I play Tom Clancy. And I was beating a guy and I recorded it. And I was like, I got you now. You're not going to get me. And almost like a Matan voice. And then he goes, what did he say? He said, oh, and while I beat him, I got a 7 kill streak. And while I was beating this guy, I was recording a rap song. Am I missing anything? He was in the army. He said he was in the army for 25 years. He's a sergeant. He's a war hero. He also has had a small business for 15 years. I don't know where the overlap is there. And then he gave me his number and said, if you ever need a mobile mechanic, I'm very cheap. And then I was like, he said, let's say Sergeant Christopher Richards. I said, and he said, I'm Christopher Richards. And I said, Sergeant Christopher Richards, right? And he said, yes, but not anymore because I killed a guy. He's the guy who got me shot in the head. I only got shot in the head because he messed with my gear. So me and some other guy threw him off a roof. And he's like, and I didn't know if he died. And then he goes, but he deserved to die. He got a lot of people killed. And then he got out of the car. And for a minute there, I was like, was any of that real? I just kind of drove around thinking about how weird that was. And I pulled over and started looking into it. And I was like, this guy just lied to me. And he's like looking me dead in my eyes and smiling and it was like you could just say anything. He's like, yeah, I'm actually, Dragon Ball Z is based on me. I'm actually like Goku. My power level is over 9,000. And just look me in the eye. And that's actually chutzpah. That's the definition of chutzpah, is lying to someone, them knowing you're lying to them, you knowing that they know that you're lying to them, and still lying to them. And looking them dead in their eyes and just lying. And it was just a... hats off to the guy. And I just sat there and just, oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. You could bench 400 pounds? Oh, yeah, you're an American Sniper? Oh, wow. Oh, and you work at a tire shop and you're a mobile mechanic and you're a war hero and you're a rap artist and I don't know. I don't know if I even did it justice because I immediately called my cousin and I was just dying laughing. Yeah. Oh, also, I looked up the guy that got shot in the head in American Sniper, and the guy died. And I'm not laughing that he died. Don't get it twisted. I'm not laughing that he died. I'm laughing that he said that's who he was. But I've met other people like that, Eastern European guys, that are like you just have to agree with them because there's just an energy to them. And I think he just thrived on the fact that I wouldn't call him out on anything. I'd be like, that doesn't make sense, sir. And he punches me in the back of the head and I just drift off the road into like an Astro van. So I was just like, wow. Whoa, dude. Wow. Thank you for your service. Yeah, so I have his phone number and I have his name. And part of me really wants to get him on the show. But I'm terrified of him. And if he showed up to my house, I'd poo. I'd just poo. I'd fear poo. Right there. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. A true even Spurgs need friends. Sounds like the Africans from Liberia talking about how they were Oh, thank you. Actually, he also said that he was a descendant of a Viking king. I forgot the best part. He also told me he was the descendant of a Viking king. He's like, yes, I'm Viking royalty. I'm the descendant of a Viking king. I've had the sigil on my arm for a very long time. And then he shows me this massive tattoo. It looked like a 1 and a 7, except it covered his entire arm, his entire forearm. What was that guy? Was that a person? What was that? I need to learn to fight so that I can just be like, shut up, stupid. Hey, shut up, liar. None of that makes any sense and you're dumb. That's true. Yeah, you have to evacuate your bowels. Yeah, now what I'm saying was not cowardly. What I'm saying is I come from a long line of Viking warrior kings and we poo ourselves before battle to prepare to fight. It's very natural, very normal. I'm doing what I have to do. I kind of want him on my show. I have his number. Oh my gosh, should I have this guy? I'm going to learn to fight first. Then I'll have him on my show. I could fight a little bit, but I want to learn to fight. Like, you ever see bodybuilders talk to fighters? Like, you ever see that big muscular guy who thinks he can beat up everybody talk to Nick Diaz? And Nick Diaz is like, nah, bro, I'll kill you. And the dude's like, I'm twice your size. I'm 260 pounds of muscle. He's like, bro, I'd kill you. And you know he's right. It's like, you got to be like that. But if I'm about that life, I don't even know if I could be about this life. So I guess I just have to open myself up to being killed by some insane Viking soldier from, I don't know, Krakosia or something. Being an Uber driver is weird, yo. You know, you talk to some people and they come from all over, you know. Yeah, you don't want fear poo before the fight. What I would do is he would knock on my door and I'd say, just a second, and I'd run to the toilet. And then I'd run back and open the door and I'd punch him in the neck. And hopefully that'll stop him dead in his tracks. But he can bench 400 pounds. And he has like 70 confirmed kills. I think he said that. I don't know if you know this, but he's lifted a lot of tires. I don't know if I told you this, but this guy has lifted a lot of tires, and he's a mathematical genius. So he might be able to mathematically count how many knuckles are going to hit his throat, and he might mathematically swallow so that his jugular just is missed, or it goes between two of my knuckles, and then he's like, "Ha! I was hoping you'd do that," and then bow. Generalist versus specialist, which do you think is best? Well, I mean, I have no choice in the matter. I am going to be a generalist. I have no specialty. My only specialty is art, which is like kind of being like, that's just like millennial default because you don't know how to be a man. I just want to get good enough that I can fight him, but I think it'd be fun to have him on the show and just let him say stuff to me. And I'll do the same thing I did at the car. I'll say, wow, that's amazing. And I'll just let chat talk. I'll let chat be my mind. I'll be like, these guys are crazy. I'm telling you ahead of time, I'm going to tell him that I agree with him and that you guys are being very bad. Chat is being very bad to you, but I believe every word you're saying, Bradley Martin. I had a ninja phase. I had nunchucks. I hit myself in the head with nunchucks a bunch of times as a kid. Directionless people, the millennials. American millennials, who is more directionless in all of history? I might as well have just been, born in the desert. Because I had no idea. None of us have any idea what we're doing. Well, now we do. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God we're connected to the sacred. Body's tired, but our spirit's elevated. You guys don't know that song? Not true fans. Will somebody subscribe? Why do I have 299? I had 300 before I started this stream. I literally lost a subscriber. Somebody subscribe. I'm mad. Why? And I got 9 people. You know what? Yeah. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Or get out of here. I mean it. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. Or get out of here. I don't need you. You think I need you? I don't need this. I could be learning how to fight. I could be learning how to fight. Hi, Lawrence. Lawrence is like, hello. Yo, somebody subscribe right now, or I'm gonna go insane. No, that's what you want. You want me to go insane. Subscriber, I won't go insane. Exactly. I don't need this. I could be learning how to fight. I could be a Fallujah. Posted your channel sub begging. No. No. Oh my gosh. You're chaotic neutral, slow boy. I figured it out. Slow boy is chaotic neutral. Gee whiz. If this doesn't go up to 300, by the time I count to 300, I'm going to go crazy. And I will be counting. I'll stop count. Okay, here. Y'all want to play? Y'all want to play? I'll stop counting once that hits 300, and I'm watching. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was supposed to have more subscribers today, not less. 5, 6, 7. You brought this on yourself. 8. I didn't fully say 7, so I'm going back. 7, 8, 9. Let's see if I can make counting to 300 entertaining. Not if I can do that, then I should have my own show. If I can count to 300 and make it entertaining, then I should be on Sam Hyde's show. I'm sick of this crap. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, you see 300? Okay, I'll refresh because this is not easy. 9. Oh, okay, 10, I got 301 subscribers. My bad. 11. Okay, sorry. 12. My bad. That was all. 13, I like to bring orthodoxy with 300? A hefty dose of unhinged. That's what I'm. That if you like a lot of Orthodox people, they're just. Oh, okay. Sorry. A lot of Orthodox people, they're just they're doing it, and it's important. And what I'm doing is maybe not so important. But what I do is I bring orthodoxy with a hefty dose of unhinged New Jersey sociopath. Take it or leave it. That's what the show is. All right. Pasquale said you could be learning how to fight. You don't need this. Thank you, Pasquale. This guy gets me. Yeah, it's working. Apparently, this will have to. I can just do this. I could do this until Light of Tabor starts his video. I could just sit here and yell at you to subscribe. Subscribe! Subscribe! I'm sick of it. Subscribe now. Hit the like. What is this? Hit the like. Ah! All right. I could keep that going. Oh, speaking of which, I have a new video. I'm doing a new I'm doing a new thing over here at Hello Listener, and I'm selling a workout video so you can get strong like Hello Listener. I know you guys want to be strong. How do you get this build? How do you get this physique? How do you get Jersey strength? And I'm going to tell you how. And it's my new workout video. It's better than Tybo. It's better than that running guy, that black running guy. Who's black running guy? Who's black running guy? You know what I'm talking about. It's better than Joe Rogan. It's better than push-ups. And it's called monkeying around. Not horsing around. Monkeying around. And I really think this is real. I really think this is a good idea. And I'll demonstrate it now for you. Let me make sure you can see me. Hey, are you tired of being a big fat piece of garbage? You tired of having a little slug at the bottom of your tummy? A little fat slug hanging down? What you doing with yourself? Why are you eating so many noodle dishes? It's disgusting. But you don't want to look like a homosexual doing Tybo classes? You don't want to be, acting like a magenta warrior and pretending you know how to katana? Well, here's the thing about all that. It's a lie. It's a lie. Hi, it's a lie. Every workout routine, you don't need a gym. It's all a lie. With my system, you can have your entire life change in the blink of an eye. How strong are apes? How strong is a chimp? Very strong. A chimp will rip your head off. Do they hit the gym? Do they sit there and pack on a bunch of meat? Let me eat a bunch of meat and do some... No. What do? They monkey around. They monkey around. And nobody's stronger than a chimp. And so my workout routine, which I'll demonstrate to you right now, but this is just a little bit. Eventually, maybe I'll add another ad to my show. Right now, I still have the Colossal Squid Records ad, but eventually I'll add my 4 VHS set workout routine, which is called Monkeying Around. It's easy. Anybody could do it. And it's the most natural thing in the world, and it's why chimpanzees are so strong. And you just go like this. Ah! And you say, oh, you look ridiculous. You don't look like a serious man, but I am a serious man. What I did right now is what every monkey does. Go ahead, look at a monkey. See how tired I am? That was 5 seconds of monkeying around, and I'm already tired and stronger. You ever hear about that monkey that ripped the lady's face off? That's nothing for a monkey. Horrific acts of brutality like that are nothing for a monkey. But they don't hit the gym. They don't have a regimen. They just do what feels right. They go... That just feels right for them. And they hoot and holler a little bit. That's biceps, triceps, glutes, buttocks. That's forceps. That's, that's every body part. And all I did was, and I just rock out. It's very natural. For those of you who believe in evolution, you might even say that's our natural state is to just monkey around. So monkey around makes you strong. And I'll do this. Look, if you want the monkey around 4 video set, because even though it's simple, give me your money. I know it's like I basically showed it to you, but give me your money anyway. I have my Bitcoin wallet over there. All it costs is 1 Bitcoin. Easy. 1 Bitcoin, and you get the entire Monkeying Around DVD set for free. And now I'm going to go back to chat, and I assume you're going to be telling me, he's good, we love him, he's our new leader. Correct? Just nothing. All right. Might want to check with your cardiologist before starting the program. See, it's the most natural thing in the world, what I just did. You know what's not natural? Hanging out with a bunch of metal and doing that sort of thing. That's not natural. What's natural is monkeying around. Lawrence, he's got a one-track mind. What you're doing is called horsing around. I'm just killing time until Lida Tabor starts streaming. I got my 300 subscribers. I've accomplished everything I need to accomplish. Everything I need to accomplish. Did you see that go down my face? All right, I wore myself out chimping. Please say something out of pocket. The black female homicide rate is higher than the white male homicide rate. I just can't stop thinking about that. higher than the white male homicide rate. I saved a bunch of Twitter stuff because I was like, all right, I'll show you. I'll show you my bookmarks. Oh, so I've just been noticing like black people defending the guy who stabbed a guy or who killed a dude. This guy said the black kid was trespassing while also carrying a weapon, which seems like it's probably not allowed. He refused to leave when asked and escalated the situation to the predictable point of confrontation, at which point he stabbed the white kid in the chest. Then the blacks all come out to say essentially FAFO, which means flip around and find out. White boy should not have assumed the black kid was armed and dangerous and left him alone to trespass. Okay. Sorry, I'm fat. I've really shamed myself with that monkey thing. I've made a fool of myself. I've really made a fool of myself with this monkey thing. What do you think happens now that we're all going to make the assumption that you are dangerous animals that cannot be reasoned with? That we're all going to just leave you alone to let you do whatever, like we've been doing since the 60s? You think that will continue forever? You could have all said, this one black kid is a psycho, throw the book at him. But you didn't. You donated en masse to his Give, Send, Go, swarmed all over social media to defend the brute, and now apparently you're sending death threats to a reporter covering the facts of the story. You have no idea how clarifying this is for so many white people. The perspectives this gives them on Rodney King, O.J. Simpson, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, and every other psyop sob story that's been thrown in our face for the last 3 generations. I mean, is he wrong? And I bookmarked some stuff just for myself because I was just watching all these people so proud about this. Somebody said, I mean, can y'all blame us? All the hate we receive and all we want to do is mind our business. Keep effing with us, though. Y'all see what happened to that white boy in Frisco, Texas. Somebody else said, black people are tired of being bullied. I mean, I'm just... What are we supposed to do? I'm just tired of living around them. If we had a real society, the fact of the matter is what they prove time and time again is that they can't be in society. And it's not our job to make them work in society. And if we tried to make them able to live in white society, they resent us for trying to make them not be who they are. So there is no solution besides separation. There truly is no solution besides separation. The solution is truly, here's the solution. Either separation or everything gets ruined. That's all. If you prefer everything gets ruined, then we can just do that. We could just have everything destroyed. Because they're not looking to integrate. They're not looking to find their place in society. They hate us, and there's nothing we can do that'll change that. And I found out that before the civil rights movement, the black crime rate was essentially identical to afterwards. So every reason for it doesn't add up. And anybody who knows anything knows that this doesn't, this transcends America. If you look at Liberia, we gave them a constitution and an entire country and said, we're sorry, here, have a whole country. And within 50 years, they were eating each other. That's just true. All I'm saying is what's true. You ever heard General Butt Naked? Go ahead, look up General Butt Naked. He'll tell you about how in Liberia, what he does is he eats the brains of a young boy while he's alive to give him power to fight his enemies. Okay, Haiti. What happened in Haiti? They had infrastructure, constitution, everything they needed. And they said, all we need is to kick out Whitey. Okay, and then what happened? Go ahead. What happened in Haiti? Go ahead. You tell me what happened in Haiti. They should call it Hate Whitey. Sorry. What happened in Zimbabwe? They kicked out all the white farmers and then they starved to death. What are we doing? Like, I don't get it. Like, I understand compassion. I understand love. I understand caring about people. I can see that. Lawrence, it's right there. And reaching across the divide and wanting good things for everyone. And I want good things for everyone. But at the end of the day, we can't coexist. I mean, there's some black people that are chill as hell, and I like them. But as long as we keep focusing on that and ignoring the black on white crime rate, the black on white rape rate, the black on white murder rate, and the fact that all of our cities have become basically uninhabitable and scary, and we've just become used to that when we shouldn't be. I mean, okay. I like, as much as I like, you know, my based black friend, that doesn't mean that he is representing the black race as a whole. And we just have so many examples of this. It's just not going to work. And it's not supposed to. This is not happening because America is a melting pot, which was a story written by Jill. No, it's happening because they want to destroy us, and they know that if they put a bunch of people who just love to hate me or love to hate us in our country and shake it up, that it'll destroy the country. I pick my savior. Of course. But that doesn't mean that nothing else matters. That's the whole point. I'm not saying I don't love them. I'm saying that if we want a society, and maybe we don't, I can argue for no society. You know, this world's not the point. This world is a springboard to eternity. But yeah, they hate us. They say it over and over again. That does make them our enemy. If they hate us and they want to destroy us and they like the idea of hurting us and they brag about it and they give money to people who do it and they celebrate when people like O.J. Simpson go free and they laugh about it when they see videos of us getting hurt, and then that's an enemy. I have denied Jesus this whole time. You said we need to separate Jesus. Look, your misunderstanding of the Bible has nothing to do with me, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. Truly. Okay? Diversity is not, we're not talking about, all the races in the world, everybody. No, that's within the church. And within my church, I have people from every race, nation, and creed, and we all are unified in Christ. That doesn't mean we sit there and pretend our enemies are our friends. We love our enemies, but we don't sit there and pretend that they're our friends. If somebody hates me and they want to kill me, they want to destroy my race, they laugh about it, they like it, they defend it to no end, I would be a fool to not recognize the fact that they're my enemy. If they came into the fold and were ruled by Christ, then that would be a different thing. You save them. Salvation comes down to the individual. Okay. You talk scripture or just religious traditions? I talk both, but thanks for asking. Here's the crazy thing. Look at you all going to defend this endless black on white violence. How subverted. How completely subverted. And you do it in the name of Christianity. What about the love for your own people? What about the love for white people? You have no ability to care about what happens to them. You only care about what happens to the black people that are killing you in subway trains and stabbing you. That's not morality. That's a false morality. That's BS. You lay down your life for your brother. This is moral. This is demoralization, an inability to see things for what they are. And it's masquerading as morality, but it's BS. It's complete BS. When it comes to the individual, I treat every individual as an individual. I reckon with them for who they are. But to sit there and act like people don't come jam-packed with presuppositions about white supremacy and their victimhood, and it justifies any action they do to us, which they demonstrate themselves by filming it, laughing, and then commenting that we deserve it. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Also, your entire understanding of reality is based on Amish subversion. We used to have nations. We used to have national identities. It's only now that we sit around and try and pretend that we're all the same when clearly we're not. Where does your, with this ridiculous quote mine, Jesus of 1 Corinthians 12, where did the Muslims play into that? Are they part of the body of Christ? Because the black people I'm talking about are not Orthodox Christians. The black people I'm talking about don't think about Jesus at all. They just think about how much they hate white people. Yeah, ask Canon Hinnon about forgiveness. Also, I do forgive them. That's the crazy thing. I do forgive them. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd, because I do forgive these people, and I do love these people. But to sit there and act like we're all the same when clearly we're not, that's ridiculous. To be Orthodox is to follow Jesus. You're leaning on your own understanding. That's what you've been doing this whole time. You lean on your own understanding. You think you're tapping into secret teachings of what the Bible means, but you're getting further and further from the truth based on essentially Protestant presuppositions, which you may say that you're not a part of, but every idea that you have is basically filled with Protestant presuppositions. You are filled with hate, not forgiveness, if you say so. You are filled with hate, not forgiveness, if you say so. It's crazy how much everybody's willing to judge me on this. You know? What did I say that was wrong? All I want is for, yeah, exactly. How is that hatred? Very strange. Very strange. This is called demoralization, an inability to see what's right and wrong. Actual morality has been replaced with a subversion of morality that believes that calling things what they are is a sin and an act of hatred. Don Lola, do you know that? Do you know that you've been fully subverted? Wonder how long I'm going to deal with this. It's so crazy how much people read into everything you say, you know? People see whatever they want to see with what you say. You can sit there and just say, this is what's happening, this is what's always happened, and I think it's best if we separate. And people will say, you are full of hatred. You have no forgiveness in your heart. What an egalitarian thing to say. I think you have nothing to do with reality. I think you sit in your home and play with ideas. And this goes to anybody who's criticizing me right now. This is not nobody specifically. For me to be unable to recognize what's happening in our country and be unable to point it out and be unable to say what it is for fear of being called a loveless, unforgiving person outside of the body of Christ says more about the people attacking me than it does about me. It says that you've taken on your subversion and you see it as your own. That's all that says. Because I have love for all people. Do you think love for people means ignoring what they do to you? Do you think love for people means people not getting punished for what they do? Do you think love for people means no consequences for your actions? Because there will be consequences for people's actions. Eternal consequences. Do you guys not recognize that? I mean, I can sit here and argue for the idea of us being subjugated. But I don't think that's what you're arguing. I think you're arguing for a liberalistic worldview that mulls over our differences and acts like nothing's happening. That's what it seems like. You want Christian persecution? Well, you're going to get it. You're getting it. It's happening. It starts here. And we can make an argument for that. We can make an argument when they start flaying us alive because we profess Christ. But you have to decide, do you want a society? Because it's not racist for me to point out that black people never built a society. That's not racist, that's just true. And it's not racist for me to point out that when black people have come to our societies, they've caused a lot of chaos and destruction. That's just true. It's not a psyop, it's not a trick. It's observable history. And if you think me saying that means I don't love them, then go ahead, be my judge. But I know my heart. God knows my heart. You guys can parade around with your weird ideas, your weird scriptural interpretations that just happen to coincide with Amish subversion, that just happen to coincide with everything the protocols of the Elder Zion want you to say. Go ahead, do that. But me, my eyes are open. I'm in the ancient church. I don't have to quote mine. You ask, oh, do you just follow the church or do you follow the Bible? I follow both. And part of following both is recognizing that quote mining the Bible and throwing it at people as an argument is stupid. Especially when you're outside the church and you're just interpreting it however you want. You're just interpreting these scriptures however you want. And I'll tell you how you're not interpreting them the way the apostles did and the way their disciples did. You're not interpreting them in the way that the early church fathers did. No, you're 2,000 years removed from the apostles, disregarding all of church history and patting yourselves on the back and calling yourselves geniuses. That's what you're doing. And that's over. I want you to know this. It's over. You have no excuse anymore. The truth has been revealed. Maybe for the past 1,000 years in the West, we have been under Roman Catholic rule and then the Protestant Reformation, and we were cut off from knowing the church unless we were very studious. And of course, I imagine that God's grace covers those mistakes, those heterodox mistakes. But that's over. You have the truth available to you. You reject it at your own risk. So go ahead and quote mine. You're only hurting yourself. And go ahead and judge me. Go ahead and judge me. Tell me I have no love in my heart. It means nothing to me what you say. Truly. Because I don't answer to you. I answer to God. What a joke. If you're not Orthodox, become Orthodox. If you are, go to church.
In a garden brimming with gold and green, no mosquitoes, no predators, no need. I can see you staring beyond my dreams. I can hear you singing a song of peace as a wave of love washes over me. See the light like diamonds shine through the trees. Every breeze whispers of eternity. I am finally where I'm supposed to be.
Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. They won't. They won't. They won't.